Annie Lennox, Walking on Broken Glass on BBC Radio 2. It is 7:41. If you're watching on iPlayer, good morning. For Scott, it is still the night. He has not stopped. The great Scott Mills treadmills challenge for BBC Radio 2 and Children in Need. It's getting harder to say.
I don't even know my name.
You don't know your name, Scott. We all know your name, Scott. Would you like another total, my darling?
I would really love that.
This is why Scott is doing this. It's all to raise money for children in need. And listeners, viewers, you have been phenomenal. The total, ladies and gentlemen, let's have a little hum. Let's have a drone. Ooh, of excitement. The total so far for the great Scott Treadmills Challenge in aid of BBC Children in Need is £502,036. Scott, you've done it. You've taken it over the £500,000 mark. You're right there, honey. Oh, don't. I want to cuddle you. It's emotional stuff, isn't it? Look at that number. Tears coming from Scott's eyes right now. Bless you, my darling.
Just think how many people that's going to help.
I know.
You know?
It's going to help so many people.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Oh, wow.
He's an emotional wreck. This is great. Let's make him cry some more. Keep the donations coming in. And let's remember, there is a reason that Scott's done this. So many families are helped by the amazing charities who are supported by Children in Need. And one of those wonderful families has joined us this morning. The Dickenson family are with me. Mum, Sam. Hello, Sam.
Morning, Zoe.
How you doing?
Slightly nervous.
Slightly nervous. Bless you. James is here. Dad, hello, James.
Morning, morning.
How are you? Are you impressed with Scott so far?
Oh, unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. I couldn't do it. Absolutely not. No,
Bless
definitely.
you. And Isaac is here. Hi, Isaac.
Hello, you're right.
Yeah, you're not on a treadmill yet, but you're getting on one in a minute.
In a minute, yeah.
Fantastic. And let's say a hi to your brothers, Arthur and Rufus. Can we have a little round of applause for the boys, please? They're up there doing their bit. So, Sam, we've heard you talking about Children in Need on Radio 2 over the last 24 hours. Tell us about the boys' brother, Seth.
So Seth was the youngest of our four boys. Absolute superhero. He was diagnosed with a brain tumour just after his 4th birthday in 2017. And fought that with courage and spirit that you would not believe. Sadly, it didn't end the way we wanted it to. And he died in May last year with us surrounding him. But his little spirit shone brightly and continues to shine brightly. I think he was one of the bravest warriors I've ever met, and he always had a smile on his face no matter what. And he continues to bring a smile to all our faces every day. He would have thought this was hilarious that we were all here talking about him. He'd have been running around with his little squeaky voice under everyone's feet, joining in on the treadmill. Yeah, he was a total hero.
Oh, Sam, and we can see Seth here as well on Dad's T-shirt there, James. And I can see, you know, physically talking about Seth, although with so much love, you know, the pain is there for all of you. And we just want to say thank you so much for talking about Seth and his story, because I think it really helps when people are at home thinking about, should I donate, to actually hear from families and how the funds have benefited them. It really, really helps to put a lot of this into context. James, you took Seth to Children's Hospice South West, and what did they do to help?
Oh, they just wrap a massive security blanket round you. It takes away a lot of the fear and the worry. And they just enable you to spend time together as a family at a time when you need it most, when you want to make memories. That's the thing. This security blanket is there just to cuddle in. There's so much love. It's amazing. What a charity. They really are amazing.
Amazing. And Sam, one of the ways Children Need fund the hospice was to provide you with a sibling support worker, which must be so important for the boys. Tell us about Suzanne.
Suzanne is amazing. We've known her since we first went to the hospice. So initially she would just be there on visits, just to hang out with us, chat about anything we might need. But when Seth got really poorly, she was there looking after the other boys, we couldn't always be there for them because he was such a priority. So she would be playing board games, bringing craft activities, on the Wii with them. Whatever we needed her to do, she would, as well as more of a psychological support. So particularly now, in terms of bereavement care, she's really important to us because if we're worried about the boys, if they're upset, unhappy, we can go to her and she'll put in place anything that we need to support them, which in turn supports us as parents.
It's amazing work that she's doing. Isaac, thank you so much for speaking so passionately. We've been able to play you out on the radio. I'm hoping some of your friends have heard that and been very impressed with your skills.
Yes, thank you very much. Yeah, it's weird hearing your voice on the radio. It's not something you expect ever to hear. Just from living in little old Cornwall, just suddenly hear yourself live on Radio 2 is a bit, well, on Radio 2 is a bit weird, but yeah.
Well, thank you for sharing. And Suzanne, what does she do to help you, Isaac?
Anything we need. She is a totally amazing person and obviously totally funded by this amazing charity. And so through our darkest times, obviously, with Seth being as ill as he was, like my mum said, they couldn't always be there to sort of help us or support us all the time because they needed to be looking after Seth. And Suzanne just did an incredible job. If she basically said, well, what do you want to do today? And if we wanted to go to the beach, she'd take us down to the beach. If we wanted to go and mess about in the garden, she took us around. It felt like it was a place, and she sort of offered a gateway, I suppose you'd say, into somewhere where we could feel safe, but also be around Seth and our families, but without the pressure on mum and dad to sort of have to keep an eye on us and stuff. Because obviously 3 boisterous boys, you've got to keep an eye on them. They can get out of hand quite quickly. But yeah, so it was just, yeah, I don't even really know, but yeah. And so the aftercare as well. So after Seth's passed away, obviously the grief carries on for a long time, and that has an effect on us. But she's done loads to help Rufus especially. She just Zoom meetings and stuff, chatting through everything with him. If we had any questions throughout, she'd answer them. So before he passed away, if we were sort of curious about sort of what happened or whatever, she would sort of explain and took us to see the Starborn room and bits and pieces. So yeah.
Bless you. Isaac, you speak so eloquently. Honestly, you really do. I see a future career for you, young man. Who knows? In a couple of years' time, you could be doing a 24-hour challenge. Perhaps for Radio 1 first, though. Thank you so much to such a gorgeous family for coming and sharing Seth's story today. Sam, I can feel the love between you, and you keep Seth with you in your hearts at all time. And there was a song that you particularly loved that we're going to play now, I believe. I know, Sam, you've been amazing, by the way. I'm emotional. Everybody listening will be so emotional. But it's important to hear these stories because that's why people donate. And that's why they have the generosity. What song would you like to play for Seth?
This was his message to us, I think. So 3 Little Birds by Bob Marley.
Thank you, Sam. Amazing. What an amazing family. This is for you, Seth.